Welcome YouTube to my review of the Sonus Faber Pryma headphones. Now, it's Pryma because they're an Italian-based company, and Sonus Faber is actually a very renowned speaker company for loudspeakers for home theater use and stereo listening. And so when I got the opportunity to test a set of Pryma headphones and I saw that they had them in carbon fiber, and I love carbon fiber, I had to get my hand on a set. So the Prymas are an Italian-based company, like I mentioned, and the Italians love their style. In fact, when I open up the box here in a second, you're going to see that one entire flap is dedicated to them conveying their company theologies of style. It's in the details. Your style can be seen, and now it can be heard. So the packaging is pretty nice. It's got a little trade compartment here that keeps the headphone bag. Now, the headphone bag is this canvas gray bag, and for a $550 pair of headphones, if you get the carbon marsalas or the carbon notes like I got, or a $500 pair if you get any one of the other versions of the Prymas, for $500, they give you a canvas bag with the company and headphone logo printed on it. That's it. It's kind of subpar. The headphone cable comes in the bag, and it's a very nice, malleable, silicone feel headphone cable that ends in two mono, I believe they're 2.5 millimeter plugs, and it also has a one-click mic, which is good for Android devices, but will also work on iPhones, and it terminates in a right angle 3.5 millimeter plug. So it is definitely meant to be used with portable devices. It also includes a 1/4-inch adapter, which I really don't see much use for, considering the cable on this thing is only like 2.5 feet long. So now moving on, behind this egg foam is the actual drivers themselves. Now, the drivers themselves have this belt buckle like design on the top, so they look like a belt buckle attached to ear cups. Now, the ear cups have this gorgeous matte finished carbon fiber, and the carbon notes is matte. The carbon marsalas, which include a brown or camel colored headband, are a polished or high gloss version of the carbon. Now, the ear cups, if you notice these ear pads, they have a very firm foam, and they're very narrow. The pad itself is very narrow, so it makes the ear cup very minimal, but at the same time, that small, narrow amount of pad adds lots of pressure. So pressure is, pounds per square inch, and if the band has a pretty strong press, it gets amplified by being around just a small diameter of ear pad. So that actually makes these headphones highly uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Like, I couldn't wear these on a 2-hour flight. They start agitating the skin around my ear because of the amount of pressure that those pads put on your ear after about 30 minutes of listening. And when I don't play music, my comfort test, I'm sure you guys have heard me say before, my comfort test is I put headphones on with listening to nothing and seeing how long I can wear them before they become noticeable, or I just can't handle wearing them because they make my ears hot or uncomfortable. These I could only stomach wearing for about 7 minutes before I was like, all right, enough. The headband also, if you can see, is not completely just a semicircular U-shaped headband. It also has a slight flaring to one direction. So it actually makes it a directional headband, and when you're putting the ear cups on, sometimes you don't realize what way the band is facing, and so you put the plugs in and then you put it on to be right or left, and it doesn't really work out easily, and then you have to swap the wiring. Not a big deal, but it's a little cumbersome. Additionally, this headband foam pad at the top has a nice microfiber covering to it, but the padding inside of it is very weak and flimsy and is not incredibly comfortable. Not to say that the headband over the top of the head was uncomfortable, but it was not nearly as comfortable as it could be. Now, it has, like I said, it has this belt buckle design. So I'm going to demonstrate how you would put these on the band. It's a simple, you slide the metal part over, and then you find the hole that you want to click in that you think is the appropriate size for your head, and then you spin the little knob 90 degrees either left or right, and it locks it in. Now, that's great, but ease of adjustability, like let's say today you wanted to wear a beanie and then put this over your beanie, you might have to compensate for the extra thickness. So that means doing this whole process over again. And it's not a great design. It's definitely all about the style. They were focused on style. Now, they should have given these to stylists, and stylists would have loved these. Giving these to audiophiles, which I think are the only people that would really consider broaching $500 for a pair of portable headphones, they're actually fairly subpar, especially the fact that they don't have a good comfort to them. Although the build quality is high, comfort is paramount to build quality. Now, I'm sure you guys are all interested in knowing how they sound. Straight out of the box, these were some of the worst sounding headphones that I've ever put on my head. They took about 200 hours of break-in time before they started to actually sound full and rich. One of the other problems is, I'm going to try and demonstrate here, is that the headphones themselves, because of that band, they don't actually put an equal amount of pressure. All the pressure goes to the top of the ear pads, and you can kind of see here on the bottom of the ear pad, it lifts off a little bit. So you get sound leak on the bottom of the ear pad, which further degrades the sound quality of these already mediocre sounding $500 pair of headphones. So if they made a good seal, they would actually sound quite a bit better. But I'm not going to have headphones and then press the bottom of the ear cups just so I can get better sound quality, especially out of a $500 pair of headphones. The highs are all right. They definitely don't have any spectacular sparkle to them. The mid-range is pretty good, and the lows are pretty muted. They don't have a good low-end sound. In comparison, the V-Moda M100s, which retail for about $220, about half the price of these, have a much more broad soundstage, have a much fuller sound, have a much deeper sound, and go a little bit higher than these, whereas that's normally V-Moda's weak point. I would go crossfade M100s over these any day of the week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.